Hi, my goal here is to do a full-length video on some Italian wines. I did a three-part series a little while ago. Now I'm going to do just a one-part series. I'm going to talk about three wines from the Veneto region of Italy. And what I have here, let me adjust the camera a little bit if I can. I have the very first one is I have Valpolicella. Valpolicella is very famous wine. Nice light wine. Has a very light flavor to it and a little bit of acidity to it. It's made from the three major grapes that are Corvina, Rondinella, and Malvesa. And like I said, it's a very light red wine with a little bit of acidity to it. And what's really nice about this is this can be served chilled. Kind of like a Beaujolais. This is a wine that does lend itself to being served chilled. It's an introductory wine. If you normally don't like red wines, I recommend Valpolicella to start off. It's a nice wine, not too heavy of tannins, and you can even serve it chilled. From the Veneto region, like I said, the grapes that are in this are Rondinella. Mostly Corvina. They also use Rondinella and Malvese. And these grapes are generally kind of a thin-skinned grape, a little bit dark, but they don't really produce these really heavy-duty red wines. So what a few hundred years ago, what the vintners started doing is that they would take the Corvina and Rondinella grapes and they'd lay them out on straw mats for about 4 or 5 months. And what this would do is it would cause the grapes to get a little bit of a, well, obviously they would shrink, they would dry up a little bit, so they'd have more of a raisiny, plummy kind of flavor. Then they would go ahead and crush the grapes and macerate, and what would happen, because of the water content was considerably lower, it would produce a really more powerful, sturdy, age-worthy wine with a lot more tannins, and that's where you get Amarone. Amarone uses the same grapes that are used in Valpolicella. Now, as you can imagine, because of the extra process of drying the grapes out. Now they're dried in racks in a temperature controlled room. But as you can imagine, all the extra work that goes into producing this is going to make the price considerably higher. Your typical Valpolicella probably costs around $12, $13, maybe $20. Your typical Amarone, for a decent one, will probably start off around $50 to $60, and I've seen them up close to $150, maybe $200. This is a very expensive wine, but it's also a very sturdy wine, great flavor, great cherry flavor, and it also has, like I said, just a lot of characteristics which are really worthwhile. Now, if you don't want to spend $60 to $80, $100 for a wine, and you want something a little bit lighter, not quite as structured as this, what I recommend here is a wine called Ripasso. Now, Ripasso is roughly in Italian means repass. So what they've done is they take the grapes that they used, the crushed grapes that they used to produce, or rather the grape skins they used to make Amarone, and they add it to this year's Rondinella, Corvina, and Malvese grapes. And then what they do is they pass it through again. They let it soak up some of that raisiny, plummy flavor. So what you get here is you get kind of an in-between. You get one that's not quite as sturdy for the most part as Amarone, and certainly not as light and fruity as the Valpolicella, but it's kind of like the best of both worlds. The main thing that I like about this is not only is it a really good wine with a lot of nice raisiny, plummy flavor, it's a wine that has a much more approachable price tag. I think this one right here costs about $19, $20 or something like that. They do get pretty expensive. I'm not saying all of them are less expensive, but if you're looking for a really good Italian wine that's not too tannic, has nice raisiny, plummy flavor, easy to drink, I recommend Ripasso. Now, if you want something that's probably going to pair better with steak or lamb or duck, I recommend the Amarone. And then once again, if you want, you can start off, what I call it, start off red wine. It's Valpolicella, a little bit more playful, a little more pronounced fruit, and a little bit more acid. So I recommend this one, a little bit light one. But of all the three, I would say just for the best of both worlds, I would recommend Ripasso. These are three wines that are from the Veneto region, and I highly recommend all of them. But just to give you a little idea. So that's my little wine That's my little wine lecture for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.